so let's go ahead and get started. I've done my full skincare routine using all ShadowSense products. And we are going to start with our MakeSense foundation. This one is in the shade Tan. What I love about our foundations is they match up or down 3 shades. Because I'm a little bit more tan right now, I'm using that darker shade. But it'll color match as best as possible so it can match my fake tanner. I like to concentrate it here in the parts that need the most coverage. And I can go back in with concealer on those areas as well. And then just blend the rest out. Just creates a nice, really smooth palette before you get started. And I'm not going too close to the eyes because I'm going to use the concealer, but I like to just keep adding and building it up to cover the redness, even out the skin tone. So then, before I go in with my eyes, I am going to go ahead and do my brows. Brushing those up so I kind of know where the shape's going to be. And then I'm going to use a combination with ShadowSense, which also I love. It's so versatile. So we're going to use Mocha Java and Onyx for our 2 colors. And with that, I just use a hard surface. I use the top of my foundation and blend those out to have a pre-mix. So there's a variety of shades, but definitely recommend starting with these 2. They are great because you're going to use them also for your eyeshadows. You can use them for liner. Mocha Java can be used for contour as well. So I'm just going to do the bottom shape of my brow. And then I'll go back in with more product to fill in any sparse areas. And if you notice, I didn't come all the way in on here because I wanted it to look a little bit more natural. But I'm going to go slightly above my brow shape, just to create a more rounded out look. And then with this, any excess product you can just kind of push up. And then you can go back and fill in any patches as well. Alright, so both brows on. Now I'm going to go in with our color correcting concealer. So this one is in the shade of light and white. And I'm going to pre-mix those as well. That is going to help brighten up under the eyes, as well as conceal redness and dark circles. I like to do this on the lid as well, along with kind of my T-zone. So I do quite a bit of the mixture here. And then I'm going to put that on with the paddle brush in the areas that I need, and then I will buff it out with a fluffier brush. So bringing it down in a V shape. Need some more white there. And then focusing on more of the concealer versus the white in the areas that really need more coverage. So once that is on, I'm going to be able to buff that out. And now I bring it up closer to my lash line. I want the least amount of product there. That is my driest. I don't want it to be crepey. So buffing that out ever so slightly around that area to prevent a buildup of product. I definitely have some redness up here. I like to conceal and brighten, and it's really going to blend out a lot better once I do my contour bronzing color. I like to start with this because then I can always add more if I need it, but I just feel it always blends so much better with the light down first, and then I can control the darker contour around it. So before I do the contour, I am going to set underneath my eyes. I just saw one more spot. And I'm using the Honest Beauty Invisible Blurring Powder. I like this one because it is a sheer color versus kind of a beigeier color. I want it to be pretty bright underneath my eyes. If you want more of a natural look, you can do definitely a tinted one, but I'm gonna let that sit so it stays on all night for me. And it'll really help when I start to blend the shadows underneath as well. So while that is setting, we're gonna go in with another MakeSense foundation. So what I love about using these for contour, this one's in the shade Cinnamon, is because it goes up and down 3 shades to adjust to your skin type, it will give you the best effect. It blends out smooth and creamy for a contour. So I'm gonna go in there with my cheeks here, and then we'll go along the nose to contour as well with a smaller brush. So I just put some on my hand, or you can put it on the lid of the foundation and really buff that out. I'm just using an e.l.f. fluffy brush, and you don't want the product to take off your other foundation. You don't want to buff too hard and take off your highlighting. So it's actually a really light touch, but I'm going to keep blending, buffing until it creates a smooth set of lines. I like to go in and do the full E as well. So this would be the first part of the E, and then down here below the chin. And again, just going to keep buffing lightly until it gives that good blend. Now, if you ever feel like you did too much product, I did not clean off my foundation brush that I was using earlier, and this one was the Sigma F80. I love that one for blending. You can go back in because it has some of that other foundation on it and really smooth out and soften any lines. This one's a thicker, denser brush, so a really light touch, or depending on if you need to get a lot of excess off. I'm just kind of going slightly over that in circular motions to get that blended effect. I do want to create a nice jawline here. Again, blending down a little bit to mix with my tan. So to go in for the nose, I have a little bit of my other color correcting concealer, so I'm going to blend that really nicely when I go in with this Cinnamon here to contour my nose. And this is why it's great to use a foundation, is it's going to blend really nicely. And I love using the P88 from Sigma. It's a nice flat angled brush, and I can control where that goes, and it really buffs out nicely along the edges because it has that angled effect. And I'm going to go in with the color correcting concealer a little bit on top and then buff that out to soften the line, but you can see it's going to create that shadow, and it's going to be thinning and creating that illusion of a thinner, slimmer part of your body. So in this case, we're slimming out the nose. We were slimming out our face here by doing a contour, as well as here with the jawline. And just blend until it's smooth. Again, really light because you don't want to take off too much of the product. So now my under eyes are set, gonna go ahead and dust off that powder. And we'll move on to the eyes. So I'm gonna do a series of ShadowSense. So the first one is our Candlelight. So Candlelight ShadowSense is gonna create a nice base. So it's gonna cover any veins, redness, create a nice palette before we put on the rest of our shadows. They are cream to powder, so I do want to work somewhat quickly. And then I like to press it in with my finger as well. You can blend it out with your finger. If you have some purple dark circle under eyes, I like to bring it down there as well in the corner to cancel out that blueness that I get. Alright, so the first shade I'm going to do is the Mocha Java with our ShadowSense and the E38 Sigma Fluffy Brush. Go ahead and to create a transition shade. So I just pop some on the brush, and again, super light touch. These are the cream to powders. So you can add a little bit and build up as you go. And I just want to create a little bit of depth. I'm going to go in with some warmer tones. Blending this one out first. I want to add just a little bit more. So again, ShadowSense, using the pink Posy. Just add a slightly warmer tone. This one's really pigmented. I'm just going into the full crease with this. So it's a little bit lower than where I was going with the Mocha Java. And I am trying to angle it up, an angle like this, because I want to make my eyes look lifted. I am going to be doing some shadow underneath. So with my eyes, I want them to look as lifted as possible so they don't look smaller than they are. So that was Pink Posy in the crease. And then I'm going to go ahead and do another ShadowSense, Copper Rose Shimmer. This one's so pretty. Just to show you guys. I love this one. So this one we're going to do more of overall lid. So I'm going to be able to pack the color on, and with that I'm going to use the Firm Shader Brush from Sigma E57. And I'm going to take that right off of the doe foot again and pack that onto the center of my lid. This is going to add a nice shimmer. So when you add shimmer and glitter, that also is going to add an extra added dimension to your eye look. And I want that in the center. So by putting it in the center, it's just like a highlight. You put it on the highest point. I want to pack as much of that in to the center of my lid, where I'm also going to do the glossy eye. And with the same Firm Shader brush, I'm going to go right underneath. And with my fluffy brush with no extra product that I used with the Pink Posy and Mocha Java, just blending that out even more. So I want it to transition from top to bottom. I'm using a different color down below. So again, you want that transition to happen. And just to use that fluffy brush to kind of buff out my transition shade and the color I just packed on. You can do that as well. And I think I want a little bit more actually of the Copper Rose Shimmer. So I'm going to dip back in. And just add another layer. So that's what I love about these shadows, is you can do that. You can layer on wherever you need to by just keep adding a little bit at a time. Easier to start with a little versus adding too much. So I just want a really powerful pigmented base to do the glossy lid on top. And now we get to be little alchemists, and I'm going to mix colors. So I'm going to play around with some denim, snow, and silver violet. I'm going to try and create a really pretty blue shade. So I'm going to mix that again on top of my palettes here. And it turns out I actually had quite a few choices here that I was trying to come up with using our shadows, trying to get a more vibrant blue. So I went with our denim, snow, and I actually used a little bit of amethyst as well. So this was the trio I used to blend. And then we're going to go in with the E21 Sigma smudge brush with our under eye underneath this copper rose shimmer. Again, adding a little bit as I go. And I do want to do the full on kind of smokiness underneath here. So I'm going to come all the way in. And then start to buff that out below. Kind of pulling the color down. I love it. I just love the blue and kind of coppery orange colors together. If we wanted to, we could even go back in with the dark denim instead of a black and do a liner. I don't want to make my eyes look any smaller though, so that one won't work for me, but some people can definitely get away with it. And then I'm going to go back in with my fluffy E38 brush and really just kind of buff it out even more, just to really soften the line so it's not harsh underneath there. And now all we need is some lashes, and I'm going to go ahead and use some UnderSense along with our LashSense. So this is going to be your primer. It's a lash builder. And once you've curled your lashes, it's just going to create a really great base to elongate and thicken your lashes before you add the mascara. You want to really try and get to the root of the lash. And I'm going to do that for my top and my bottom lashes. It's so funny, it blends in with the blue. So I love that it's like a grayish blue color versus like a white. And then I'm going to be able to go over that with Lash Extend. I let it, LashSense. So I'm going to let that dry just a little bit and comb out my lashes before I go in. So we'll go ahead and do blush while we're waiting. So with this, I do want to keep warmer tones going. And I need to get my blush. Hold on. Alright, so I want to keep it warmer, so we have Terracotta and Bronze BlushSense. Bronze looks so gorgeous on some darker skin tones for sure. And I don't want to do too much bronze, and literally with these, they will last you a lifetime. The BlushSense is incredible because it also has like our liquid cosmetics, the skincare in it. So you're getting the benefits while you're wearing it. So again, I just put those on here and I'm going to kind of blend it with the back of my brush. And this is just a fluffy angled blush brush from Sephora. And I want to do more terracotta than bronze. But I'm going to literally just dab and get that much on my brush. and then buff it out. And again, buildable, which I love. So you can go in and add more or less wherever you need it. So this one's a little bit more peachier. I'm going to grab a little bit more of the bronze and blend that in with it. And this creates a really nice little glow. My face was looking a little washed out there. And to finish, we're going to go through these lashes. So this is the black LashSense. Again, really getting down to the root and brushing up. So I'm wearing lashes, so I'm just going to do one coat here. Otherwise, I would keep applying as needed. And again, combing those out. You want to make sure you have a wire comb versus plastic to do that. And boom, looks so much better with the lashes, with the blue underneath. So I'm going to put lashes on, of course, finish the other side, and we will finish the rest of our face. I was playing around with the Glossy while I was waiting for my lashes to dry. So I'm actually going to use that same Firm Shader Sigma E57 brush, and I'm using LipSense Glossy Gloss. So what I like to do is get some of that out of the tube. This one's running low, of course, because I love it so much. And then I'm just going to get some of it off on my finger. So I have the Glossy on my finger, and then I'm just going to use the shader brush to pick up the gloss. And we're going to pat that on the lid. So I definitely need a little bit more here. And it is going to dry and permeate into the shadow. So don't be afraid about putting too much on, because you want the glossy effect to show up. So I really hope this shows on camera. It is just so much fun. So if you're using a matte shade, you're going to notice it even more. I just like how it really pops off of the metallic shades too. So this one already did soak in a little bit, but this is it for spring, you guys. Spring and summer glossy lids, and it's something, if you are a LipSense lover, already have in your bag. And it's just a quick little add-on, just a fun little feature. So that's my tip and trick using our glossy gloss, which means that I need to get some lip color on here. So we're going to do our LipSense after our Pearlizer. So that's the last part of our face. With the Pearlizer, it is the best highlighter. I've had this for a year now, and you can see using our airless pumps that it is nowhere near gone. And I use that every day for my Pearlizer. So you can do on the cheeks here, up the nose, and again the first part of that E or 3 shape. So contour is the first full E, and then Pearlizer you go second. Oh, boom! Boom, shakalaka. And this guy is so rich and creamy. Again, it has the skincare technology built into it. Mine is the anti-aging as well. So it's going to be helping boost up your collagen growth while you're wearing your fun, fabulous, glowing makeup. So we'll do Cupid's bow. Go a little higher for this look. Definitely want it to be glowing Pearlizer skin. Just buff that out a little bit. Right there on the cheekbone. Instant glam. Just adds that extra touch that you need. So for LipSense today, we're going to go in with 2 shades. And with these, we have Pink Champagne and Praline Rose. So I like to do Pink Champagne first. Praline Rose is definitely going to pull more brown. Now, technically, these are cooler shades, but I just want something very nude, natural to go with this eye look. So we're going to go on with the LipSense. So we're going to go on with Pink Champagne, 3 layers. I'll do 2 of Pink Champagne. Starting at the Cupid's Bow, we want 3 very thin layers. And with LipSense, it is unlike any of our other competitors out there, because it actually, with our gloss, it permeates this down through the color to moisturize your lips. And that is like numero uno that we all should be doing for Skincare 101, is getting that moisture where you need it. I'm going in one direction as much as possible. And I just like to do the shape at the end here. I'm going to do it the most, really shape it with actually my last layer with Praline Rose. So this one's just super pink, and it's going to be a frosty finish. But it's not going to dry out your lips. So as this is drying, it's a little bit at first, but again, once you put on the gloss, it's going to be the most 100% moisture that you need, and it's going to help this last throughout the day. So I think we should be good. I was thinking of maybe I should warm it up a little bit with beige champagne, but then it'll go too dark. So you really can just have so much fun layering or even pre-mixing to create the perfect color. So just like I pre-mixed with ShadowSense to create that blue color, ultimately you can do that with Snow, which is the white, in any other color. Because if you think about an artist palette, painter's palette, a white is going to lighten any color. So if you have a dark color, like say Onyx, add white to it and you're going to have a gray. So you can do a smoky eye with just 2 colors. With LipSense, you can pre-mix them. You can make pretty much any shade you want by blending those. Otherwise, we can layer. We're doing 3 layers. This last layer is what's going to really be affected most by saliva, food, eating, talking, drinking, all that good stuff, the air pollution. The second color that's sitting right now is the one that's going to last. So Praline Rose is a different color, because if you notice, this is very pink for our look, but this one's going to have more brown and neutralize the color. It's also a little bit more of a matte, which I want with this. If I have shimmery lids, I kind of want to go with an easier, more flat matte lip. And with this, I slightly overline. I do want to make sure I cover the Pink Champagne. So this, I want to go with a little bit more in here. You want to go just slightly over the border of your lips. You don't want to go too much, because if you do too much, the light actually does reflect it, and it's going to look very obvious that they are overlined. Just making that really crisp with the corners. This is kind of the last one I do the most precision with, especially getting inside the waterline here. I'm just going to finish off with my Julep Clear Brow. I like to do this at the very end, especially after using ShadowSense. It is going to sit, and I just want to boost these up again, especially in that front area, to make them look the most natural. And like I said, we're going to finish off with this Glossy. So we're going to finish off with Glossy now that that 3rd layer is dry. And look at that, no color on the wand. So like I said, this is going to permeate my lips. It will actually mattify as I let it sit about 15-20 minutes. But as I need more moisture, I reapply the gloss, and that's all I need. I really like this neutral lip color with our colored metallic glossy lids. I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. Please like, subscribe, leave any comments of future ShadowSense colors you want to see me mix, or any other look that you are desiring. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.